minds think alike. Great Minds Podcast. Great minds think alike. Great Minds Podcast. Great minds think alike. Great Minds Podcast. Great minds think alike. Let's ride. You're now tuned into the Great Minds Podcast. You're now tuned into the Great Minds Podcast. You're now tuned.
All right, welcome to the Great Minds Podcast. This is Derrick.
This is Vaughn.
And we're here with my man, Raj G's, man. What's going on?
Salute, Raj.
What's up, man? D, Vaughn. How y'all doing?
Good, man.
Good, man.
Been a minute. We've been planning on having you on for a minute ever since, we knew you was writing the book. Definitely wanted to check in. You MSU fam all day.
Right,
Definitely.
So good to see you. Good to chop it up. Just a brief introduction. Raj is a fellow we went to school with, so he's definitely college fam. Former hooper, in case you don't know that. With the wet jump shot. Ray Allen, Richard Hamilton type game. And an author now. So we gonna talk about his book, what he's been up to and things like that, man. So definitely glad you pulled up.
Salute, bro.
Hey, man, I appreciate y'all having me, man. Y'all doing big things. Celebrities. I done seen actresses. I remember you had Ransom over there. Now you got little old me. So I appreciate it, man. You sharing your platform, because that's what it's about.
Right.
So,
Definitely.
y'all.
Appreciate that, bro.
All right, Ross. So just like the people that don't know you, want you give a little bit of background, where you from, where you grew up, stuff like that.
So everybody, pretty much. Nobody don't know me, man. Man, I'm born, grew up in Harrisburg, Pennsylvania. I moved to Lancaster, Pennsylvania. That's where I went to high school, man. Shout out to everybody. Went to McCaskey with me. Went to college. I ended up first I went to Keystone Junior College. Ended up going to Montclair. Met a lot of guys from Jersey at Keystone. Patterson folks, man. Kawhi, Randy. Shout out to them. I know they doing big things. They probably will be tuned into this. If not now, I'm sure later. But yeah, ended up at Montclair. That's where I met y'all. That's where I like to say life really began for me. I never even really knew it was a world out there until I went to college, man. That opened my eyes so much, and being so close to New York City, that's when the 10 hours fell and all of that stuff at the time.
Yep.
A lot going on. So that was the education for me. Right there, ended up moving to Newark, and that's a whole nother education in itself.
Yeah, that's a fact.
Yeah, 15 years of my adult life out there, relearning what I thought I already knew. A lot of that is hard lessons. So, but by the grace of God, I'm still here today, still able to share my story, and I hope it helps somebody else or prevent somebody else from going through a lot of the things, especially if you don't have to.
Right.
No doubt. So, Roz, I know right now, you're author, but growing up, I know you used to spit a little bit, Roz. I remember.
Oh man, here we go.
So was that your first introduction into the writing? Was through the music aspect?
Yeah, definitely. I was definitely a better writer than artist for sure. I always had that passion. Even before, my favorite subject in school would be the literature classes and English, the writing, 101, creative, and things like that. I knew I liked stories and stuff like that. I just didn't really know how to channel that energy. I did it the best way. We grew up. We think it's always sports,
right?
Drugs, rap. So of course that's what you try first. But hip hop, definitely love, man. I'm a fan of it first. I know. I just like the true authenticity of an artist being themselves, and that's why I mess with you, man. I know I ain't gonna get no fraud from you. I'm gonna get who you are at that moment.
Fact.
And that's what really ask for an artist. Be yourself. Give us your true opinion. Otherwise, you just giving us something fake, something that's not real.
It's a movie.
Yeah.
So
what did writing do for you growing up?
It gives you a way to express yourself. And, it also gives you something to strive for. Me, anything I do, I want to try to be the best, or at least the best I can be at it. So it ain't really just writing. You're gonna have to read to see what other people are doing to reach other levels. So writing, reading, it takes your mind places that you wouldn't expect.
Right.
No doubt. And I think also back in our generation, like we ain't old like that, but as far as technology wasn't how it is right now. So you really had to go and entertain yourself, whether it was out in the neighborhood running around playing ball, doing something. You couldn't just lean on your phone to see what's going on. So writing, I think, is something that a lot of kids now don't really think about, because you think about it now, they kind of getting away from writing. So like kids don't even know how to write cursive anymore. They're not teaching it. I remember my daughter was doing something in school, and I tried to make her do it neat at the time. And she's like, "Oh, don't worry about that." I'm like, "What do you mean don't worry about it?" It's like, "Oh, they're not gonna use that anyway. They're gonna be putting on the Chromebook."
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So they're not even writing anymore. So which is crazy to me, but that shows you how things have changed. The thought process. But I wanted to say something. I remember when I first met you, Roz. You probably remember this. We met in open gym. It was like just me and you. It was nobody else there. You had just transferred in. Nobody else was around, yo. It was us just shooting around, playing one-on-one, just playing. And we was talking. You told me some great stories about PA ball, right?
Right.
So how, like back in the day, how far did you want to take ball? Because you played with against Rip and stuff like that. You would tell me who people you played against. You know what I'm saying? So I know that. So how serious were you with ball growing up?
Oh man, that was my life. Like as far as high school, I didn't do none of that stuff. Like that person that y'all met when I was there, like I was transitioning. Like that was the end of my career. I had gotten into a car accident. I was in a wheelchair for like 3 months.
Yeah, I didn't know that.
I didn't know that.
Supposed to be even playing, so I went to a school out of state where they knew nothing about me and still tried to play.
Right.
But what I realized was, you lose one step in that thing, and that's all it takes. Just like rap,
that's a fact, right?
Now you lost. Like everybody took off on you. Everybody progressing. I'm 2 years older than everybody else that we was kicking it with. So they really young boys fresh out of high school flying up and down the court. I couldn't keep up. I could keep up the open gym because that's not organized.
Yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, that was the good old days, man. Fun times, man.
So prior to the accident, what type of looks or what type of level would you planning on playing on?
Well, I wanted to definitely, even though people don't never really believe as far or as much as you believe in yourself. Like it's always important to keep your vision, because most of the 9 times out of 10 people not going to see what you see. If you don't believe it for yourself, you could forget about somebody else believing it for you. I thought I could get paid to play, whether that's overseas or in the league or developmental leagues. Like that was my goal. Like I was a guard, I was a combo guard. I didn't really have too many deficiencies other than I wasn't fast. I wasn't never, you see that lazy, laid back guy, that was always even at my height of my career. So, I was a type of guard and would do everything it took to get to the right level to be successful. But, just being able to go to college off basketball, I consider it a win for me. Because like I said, it opened my eyes a world out there that I didn't even know existed.
Right. All right. So, we talk offline about this, but I want to talk about like some of your time you got in the, you got caught up in some troubles. I think it's key for people that are getting into stuff or considering to get into stuff to kind of hear your story. You were locked up and you obviously, I could tell you came out a better man. How was that process for you?
Yeah, you realize what you really want in life. I mean, if you got something to lose, for me, it was my kids. Like I already damaged the relationships I had with them. And God forbid something would have happened while I was in there, because all I was thinking about was the time I was wasting. Now I try to talk to young people about that, because I know a lot of people out here talented, but you still faced with the struggle of feeding your family. You still faced with that same struggle of taking care of yourself. That same struggle with trying to survive just as a Black man in this country. So it's easier to do the wrong thing. But what you don't see or what you don't hear is how when you stay the course and you sacrifice, do without all that stuff, that shiny stuff that they show on TV that you think you need, and you work hard, it do pay off in the long run. It do pay off in the end. Like, I feel like I could have been where I'm at a decade ago, but I gave the state almost a decade. Like 7 years, that's a decade of your life. Not to mention that they get kids a life. Yeah. So, and the thing, it's not really, it's more about the kids that I seen in there, man. You see 18, 19-year-old kids, same thing in Jersey. Like, they downstate, they giving their life to the state, man. You got 20 years, you didn't even live yet. Like I said, I didn't even live until I went to Montclair State, and I was already 20 years old. So, it ain't worth it. Like, that's what I would tell any kids. Like, you would rather be on the streets and be broke than be in jail and have people taking care of you, but you missing out on life. You can't go nowhere. You can't be with the ones that love you. You looking for that fake love and acceptance in there. Yeah. I see myself in there. You still meet cool brothers and make bonds, but that's the people God sent in your life, man. So I always accept that. I used my time to really be honest with myself. Like, bro, you was a slime ball. You lucky you only got 7 years. Yeah.
No doubt.
No, go ahead.
You got it, because my audio went out for a minute.
All right. What was like an everyday? Explain a day in there, like something you would do in particular.
Me, you just try to keep your mind busy. Like, no matter what I was doing, I was always on the streets mentally. Like, I'm always thinking about what I'm gonna do when I get out, how I'm gonna put my plan in motion. Honestly, in there, you ain't missing out on nothing. Same thing every day. You wake up, you're getting told what to do, go eat, lock in. Okay, you could go out in the yard and play. Now lock in. Now go eat again. Now lock in. Now watch TV, play cards, and lock in. And every day, Groundhog Day, over and over. So, like I said, you wasting your time. And the crazy thing about it is a lot of people live like that on the streets, bro. A lot of people don't do nothing. They wake up, they eat, they're drug of choice. Might shoot the shit on the phone a little bit, excuse my language. Drink whatever at night, go to sleep, wake up, same thing over and over. You not living, you in jail. You just outside.
True. So how
that there was, go ahead, I'm sorry.
I was gonna say, that's my bad. I was gonna say, how did you keep that drive to do the art? A lot of people, when they are down, they seem like they say they can't do their art. They feel like a piece of them is not there, like they're dead. You know what I'm saying? So they're not having that creative space. But how did you keep that creative space going?
I couldn't even tell you that though, like facts, man. I didn't rap. Y'all know how much I used to like the freestyle. Like in jail, you got that every day in the yard. And I'm listening and I ain't spitting. Like, I might have gave it up for my celly a couple times, but I didn't rap in jail. Like, I didn't have that passion because I felt like everything I'm saying is stupid. Everything I'm saying is the reason why I'm in here now. You know how I talk, all that heavy talk.
Right.
Yeah. I'm in there like, yeah, that's the shit that got me here.
Sounding crazy, right?
I don't know when I started writing. I just know I was in the hole. I ain't have nothing else to do but read or write. I started writing the story. That story turned into 2 stories. Them 2 turned into 4. I left with like 6 stories. I said, I start passing them around the jail and letting people read it. They was like, yo, I like this. No cap. Like, this good. I started believing it. Like, then, God gave me a way. God gave me a way. I was manager of that.
Yeah. So, I want to tap in the book. I had the pleasure of reading it early and getting to review it. Honestly, man, I was blown away, man. You know what I'm saying? Because like back in the day, I used to read like hood classics. You know what I'm saying? That was like watching the show or watching The Wire, or you know what I'm saying? That was just another form. So every time I would go like on a vacation, I used to read this book called The Cartel. Like, I couldn't wait for the next one to come out. You know what I'm saying? But what I liked about this book, obviously I'm a huge basketball fan. So it tied that element to it. I felt like you added like your college experience. Not that you had the same experience, but like, what campus looks like, what the games look like, what being an athlete looks like, and I'm gonna tell your whole story. And then like you left the cliffhanger. I'm just like, he killing me right now. You know what I'm saying?
Definitely.
So I thought it was dope. When I read books and I could picture everything that's going on, like I pictured the girl, I pictured the husband, I pictured the kid. You know what I'm saying? And I think when you can do that and give me, you know, that type of vision, then I think that's good writing. And you know,
I appreciate that, man, and that's exactly what I was trying to do. And I think like even as far as rappers, when you can make somebody visualize what you're saying, even if you know, exaggerating to the most, it don't matter. You successfully getting your art across, you making us feel or see what you trying to say. And that's all I was trying to do. But yeah, you like them cartel joints. I got this thing like Porter baby, but you got to go through Keith Middleton, man, if you want that. Like, I really can't get you that book. Raw Thoughts LLC, he will get you that book, man. That thing is good. It's a love story. But I got something coming, man. Chestnut Checkers. For everybody who love reading about the streets. Like, this is a book based in Harlem, man, about a young boy. He grow up, he lose his parents. He got to figure out how to navigate these streets now. And everybody that in his life is attributed a chess piece, whether they might be a pawn, he used them in a certain way. It could be a rook, a queen he got on his team, and you grow with him. Like, he starts out 13. At the end of the story, he's 30 years old. So he's telling you everything he's going through, how people came in his life, how he lost people in his life, and the effects it had on the community, how it has on him. So it's definitely a moral and a story behind it. Man, I think this book is my best work. This could be a movie right here, man.
Yeah, so, Porter family too.
Yeah, definitely. Porter family too coming. So I got that on the way. Porter family too, for everybody who, you know, mad about the cliffhanger and you definitely nosy, you want to know what's going to happen next. I can get it to you early, man. You just gotta holler at me.
Well, you got my email. You already know.
We gonna work that out, because I tapped into you, Roz, offline about saying how I want to support the first one. I haven't a chance to read it yet, but it seems like you had 6 stories. You said that you had, right? When you wrote these stories, what was the inspiration behind the stories? I mean, I know some things could be personal, some things is what you see, you know, what you're reflecting. I think what you said was great about being an artist. I don't care if it's music or if it's a writer, whatever, painter. If you can make a picture and make me visualize where it's at, that's the best type of art to me. You know what I'm saying? So how did you grab some of these stories?
Well, Porter family, it was like, I like to call it like pretty. It was kind of real. It was kind of real. Thus, for people that I actually knew, I didn't want to tell their whole story, so I ended up, you know, veering off to make it fictional,
right?
Make it more exciting, and you know, less detailed about people's personal lives. Chestnut Checkers, I wrote that. I was thinking about the type of movie I would like to see. Like, if I was watching a gangster movie or a street movie or a hood movie, like, I think sometimes they OD with the language. I think they OD with he made $10 million. Like, that's not realistic. So I wanted to tell a story realistically, how it really go. When you in the hood, like, it ain't all good. You're going to lose a lot of people. You're going to lose a lot of things in life that's worth a lot more than the money that you gain. So you see the mental state of a young man as a boy who grows up, and he got a lot of people older than him mentoring him. He turns into a pretty decent gentleman, but you know, you still wrestle with it.
Yeah. I think that's the good. I think that's the great thing about people that are good with art, whether it's writing or rapping or whatever. Because, like, if you want to read something that's a certain way, then just make it. You know what I'm saying? I don't complain about a type of song I want to hear when I can just do it myself. You know what I'm saying? So I think that's great, and I think it's good that you tapped into something that you would want to see yourself. You know what I'm saying? Rather than something that's been done over and over again, or, you know, glamorized the wrong way.
You know, I want to add too real quick. What you said, Raj, is tough too. When you said that, you know, some stories were, you know, it was a piece of this person, that person, things you really knew. How tough is that? So if you're creating something, you're like, damn, I can't say it all. Like, you know what I'm saying? I can't say it all. I gotta omit this name. And then you get to go like, yo, I know when my man reads this, he or she, he's gonna know, like myself, I'm
Hey,
saying that it's about him in some form of fashion.
listen,
How'd that feel?
I love that, man. Like, so it's so much. Like every book that I've written, I just can't wait to get the responses, the surprises, because I write and I use a lot of people's names, but for characters that's not exactly them. But I might use your character and give it a different name, so I know a lot of people won't be able to relate.
Right.
Yeah.
Like, oh, that's me. And this is going to be a more visual book, so I got a few pictures with this, so it's going to be like a lot of guest appearances. I'm sure somebody here might be playing the character in this book, man. I'm trying to, leave no stone unturned. All the bells and whistles on this one right here. Chestnut.
So, all right. So you come from like a certain background. You did your street stuff or whatever the case is. How do you transition, or how do you feel about saying I'm an author now? I have a book now. From what you were doing to bringing that up, what's that transition like to you? For you, I should say.
I think, like, as a man, you want to be something respectable, something you want to say something about yourself that can be respected. Like, nobody don't want to be in the streets, especially trapped in the streets where you have to. Like, when you don't got no other option, it ain't fun. Your hand is forced to do a lot of stuff that have you wrestling with your soul, man. And it's like sometimes you don't got no choice. It's either you or them. Like, so to answer your question, man, like I'm glad, first and foremost, like I didn't get into that stuff early in life. Like, I was taught the right way. I was always around it, but my mom kept me out of that life. It took me to be a grown man to be like, well, let me try this. And it was more being lazy. It was more not wanting to work hard and be at a job, all the stuff that I got to do now. Pretty much. So, yeah, I don't want to glorify it. Like, I don't want people thinking that. But at the same time, I want to be real. So it is certain things that people are always going to be attracted to. But you got to always be watching out. Like, one thing I talk about is, like, we out here in the book, I talk about the main character in this story is narrating the whole book. And he gets to a point in his life where he like, dang, we out here doing this and that to each other. And the politicians and the president up in the White House just laughing because we really playing the game that they want us to play, which is eliminate ourselves.
Yeah. So as I talk to you now and haven't seen you in a while, but I can always see the growth. We all grow, you know what I'm saying? You can tell that. But I want to talk to you about your religion and your beliefs, because I've noticed that. Have you always, or you're Muslim, correct? Just want to make sure, right? Have you always been Muslim, or did you convert, or how's that been?
Man, I was born Muslim. My mom was actually Muslim when I was born. To my father, he was Muslim too. Okay. Once they separated, she did her own thing. You know how that go. So it wasn't enforced in my home. I always had a Quran. I always had a Bible. Like I said, I always was a reader. So, I was naturally trying to be inquisitive, find out, like, what's the difference between these two?
Yeah.
But now it took me to be a grown man to really learn about my religion, learn about, what I'm supposed to do. And it's a lot of similarities between Islam and Christianity. The main difference is we just don't believe Jesus is God. We believe, I don't want to get too religious. We believe one God, just God, period. But it's a lot of similarities. I think if people study more, they would say it's not that different. It's just a lot of stricter rules, like praying more and a lot of things that, you would have to get used to doing if you're not.
Right.
No, you really did your history and look back. That's the way, even when you watch them old movies that talk about Jesus, if you look how they dress, if you watch how they pray, they prostrated when they prayed. Like, so we like to say this is the purest form of religion. And I use it just to help me be a better person, to discipline. But as you see this week, man, sometimes it's hard.
Look,
right back. Listen, I'm on my author tip now. Last week I was
Rajeez.
Yeah. No, but that's why I wanted to ask you that, because I think it's something about when someone accepts a religion or brings it into their life, they act differently with certain things, and different things. It's also So when we saw whatever was happening, whatever, when I reached out, I saw that. Like I already knew that. I'm like, yo, let me hit Tat Rise on the side real quick. And then once you said what you said to me, I'm like, yeah, he's straight. Like, you know what I'm saying? But I wanted to, I could tell by the Islam influence too. You know what I'm saying? So that's
Yeah, it's
definitely a good look, bro.
Yeah, I appreciate it, man. And it's like, I mean, you want what makes you a better person. And it's like, I know I was wilding. I'm in there like, yo, you doing the most right now. But inside of you, it's like, it'd be hard. You know, I'm calm. I'm the coolest, laid back. I never get mad. But once I do, it'd be so hard to turn off. I'm burning up inside.
Yeah.
So I'm thinking like, dang, and it hurt once he called the cops. But I'm like, later, it's probably for the best. Like, that's probably the best situation. I wouldn't want to be known for doing that, but I understand why he did it. He ain't like, yeah, he just, make less problems for himself. But, it is what it is. It's a learning lesson. I ain't gonna let it set me back. So I definitely appreciate y'all. Everybody else, man. Everybody else showed mad love. Like, from the shut up, from get off the gram, man. Don't chill. Come holler at me. The conversations on the phone, hour conversations, man. Like, I appreciate it, bro. Like that meant a lot because, everybody will tell you they miss you once you're gone. Oh, he was a real one.
Right.
You see how they is with, these celebrities once they pass, but when you there and you really need that help. Like I had a couple boys who committed suicide, man. And ain't nobody help them, but their timeline was flooded once they did it. You hear me? Yeah, like everybody heard cries for help. So shout out to, y'all, the real G's, man, who step in and say, look, it ain't worth it. Like, think about the big picture, not the people who be like, oh, you got to get that dude. He did what? Like, you don't care about nobody, huh?
Yeah.
Nah, those are the people that's going to be posting on your timeline.
Right.
You got to go back in. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly, exactly.
Free G's, free G's.
That never freed nobody.
Right.
Have a t-shirt.
Yeah, step in. So again, we ain't gonna we ain't gonna wait too much in it. It is what it is, but
work itself out.
But just know we rocking with you, and we show our ways of doing it. Like you said, we gonna reach out, hit you behind the scenes, like, all right, bro, you good? It is what it is.
Yeah.
All right, so let's tap in. Going another direction real quick. So you guys, who you rocking with? Sports, football, basketball. What do you think about how the NBA playoffs went? Who you liking now? Like, we haven't had these combos in a minute, so I'm trying to tap in. We'll get into music next.
Yeah. Oh, I ain't no switch sider, man. It's still the Knicks and the Cowboys with me. That's like a affliction.
Okay.
They both struggling, man. They both struggling. Like, hopefully Dallas turned it around this year, and like they got too much talent to be underachieving. So I love the playoffs this year, though, man. I think that was so dope. Like, Giannis got his joint.
Yeah.
But the fact that you ain't know who was going to win, like, I was rooting for Chris Paul. It's sad. Like, you want the old head to get his, but yeah, I like the league. It's so many young guns, man.
Yeah, I think this year got to showcase a lot of the young players, like, from Devin Booker to Trae Young. I mean, he did your boys dirty, but he felt like Reggie Miller at some stretches. You know what I'm saying? Like, in the garden, embracing.
He showed me a lot.
Yeah,
he showed me a lot this year. Him and John Morant showed me a lot. Like,
he get busy, man.
Yeah, we already knew about Donovan and Booker, like Jason Tatum and all of them. That's why it's like the league gonna be exciting these next few years. Like it's been a LeBron league for real, LeBron and Durant, and it's like I kind of stopped watching basketball unless they was playing. Now with so many people to watch.
Right. Yeah, it's that parity, man. It's that parity which makes people want to watch. So you have a small market team like Milwaukee wins. That's good for that. That's good for the league. So now their fan base got one. And then, you got a small fan base in Memphis might get a little happier. So I think it's good when there's mad parity in the league. And, these young boys ain't afraid of nobody. They don't care if you LeBron. They don't care if you KD. They coming at you. Before you had, before it was like a little, that's the way it should be. But before it was kind of like a little, like in the awe moment. These young boys don't care right now. They're like, yo, let's go. 1-4 flat.
Go to work. That's it. Baseline.
For real. That's it, man.
Who you rocking with on the music tip? Who's some of your favorite rappers you rocking with right now?
you know, we could talk about the music all day, man.
Of course.
I'm all everywhere, like same people, Money Bag, Lil Baby, like everybody. But I'll be listening to Vado. He be talking heavy.
Wow, nasty, man.
Vado's my guy, man. Like you always forget when you ask this question, man. But you know, like my playlist right now, it's really hard to get my playlist. It's really Lil Baby, Money Bag, Yo.
I mean,
Vado.
Griselda, I would imagine.
Griselda automatic. Benny, man. Benny Conway crazy, but I'm a Benny fan because he talking all that I want to hear. Like for real, for real.
How about Ransom? You been tapped in with Ransom?
Definitely. Ransom impressed me, man. But
yeah,
you know,
he's on a different level.
He talking a lot of, he dropping them grown man jewels.
That's where I'm at, man.
I want to see when Young Albie come home though. What the climate gonna be like then? Because you know, Jersey
City ain't that
right
big.
now. It's rain, like, but you know, he been sitting stewing for a minute. He coming back firing with all the wild shit. Like, and I'm looking forward to it, man. I like the young boys to hey yo, let me ask you a question, man.
Mm-hmm.
I'll be listening to this young boy from your hood, bro. Call himself Flip Brewski, man. You ever listen to him? If you haven't heard him, man.
Free Brewski?
Flip Brewski. And I just came to terms like, yo, I gotta stop fronting and acting like I don't love this nigga, bro. Like, listen, I don't know where he be recording. Like, the production don't even be the best.
Mm-hmm.
But this boy, it ain't even the bars. His bars is A1. But sometimes it's just your style. He just a natural MC. Yo, go look him up, though, bro.
Yeah, I'm
like,
gonna check him out.
Flip Brewski, yeah.
He one of them dudes that's under the radar, but I promise you, he might be one of the best out there right now, for sure. In my opinion, I'm a barsmith, man. Like, I want you to put it together. I'm listening to your ad libs. I'm listening to how you breathe on the track. I want to know, is he punching in? Can he spit straight through? Like, dude got it. He got it. So y'all in good shape, man. Y'all got a lot of, you know, always been heavy MC work out there, but
yo, that's one
he
thing
be talking real filthy.
That's one thing that Jada showed everybody about voice control, about not like he ain't punching in. Jada just a spitter, no reference track over everything, and he showed that. And it's funny how it took people 20 like that verses to realize how nice Jada really was, right?
Yeah, that's great.
It's out of sight, out of mind. It's out of sight,
I'm
out
like,
of mind,
yo,
though.
I love Cam to death, but I'm like, who you really putting again? You got to put like Mobb Deep and Nas together to go against D Block, man. Like, ain't nobody else competing with that. Like, it ain't no slight against nobody, but they catalog crazy. Like, ain't nobody messing with them.
Like, you need Mobb Deep, or like Wu or somebody like that. It can't be.
Like, you gotta find 3 Wu dudes, like, Ghost Chef and Meth, and it's, you know, it's still a good one.
And you watching any TV or anything? Any shows?
I really don't have time to watch too much TV. I've been trying to get into the Power, the Canon thing, but
that Canon joint hard, man.
It is. I like it, the throwback version.
Yeah.
Like how just, you know, but I don't really got that much time, man. I don't even got time to do the things that I'm supposed to do. So, you know, doing the stuff, the luxury stuff, like,
word up.
It's rough, man.
All right, so Roz, we're gonna go to our final segment. We call it rapid fire. So just a bunch of this or that. I know you pretty well, so I'm gonna try to jam you up with some tough questions and see where you leaning. I can't go Benny and Conway because that would have been one, because I already know where you leaning there. All right, I got a good one for you, and I'll say my answer after. AI or Curry?
I mean, Curry better. Like, Curry could do too much, man. AI, he was a volume shooter. He was an icon for the culture. I take nothing away from him. Love him to death. And, you know, that heart is what separates AI from everybody else. But Curry is Mount Rushmore type of guy.
Right. And that is my exact answer. I think I've seen this discussed, and I think anybody that picks up AI, I think they're choosing it with their heart. Like, because they remember where they were when they first seen AI. he was the first dude with, you know, the cornrows and made that look cool when he was an icon. He was like the first, like, I want to say, like, athlete transition into hip hop type of icon for basketball players. So yeah, that I agree. That's my exact answer. I'm glad you said that.
Too many people get into that. Like, I don't necessarily gotta like you as a person to like your music.
Right.
Like, because you know, when you get to know these, especially these celebrities, they not who you think they is.
Yeah.
Like,
it's like wrestling. It's like wrestling.
Right. Like, you know, I'm going off strictly off the art. What is he saying? What do I feel hearing him? Not what type of person this guy is, because we wouldn't like too many people.
Right.
Yeah, I ain't trying to chill with him.
Right.
Like,
Yeah. It's like
right.
WWF.
I got one for you. So, who's your favorite author?
Oh man,
besides yourself.
My favorite author had to be R.I.P. Eric Jerome Dickey, man. Like, the way he, like, I think he represented Black men excellent, man. And like, reading his stuff is definitely one of the reasons I started writing more. Like, I could do this. Like, I didn't know people wrote like that, because all I read was the hood stuff.
Yeah.
Or you'll read, you know, an author from another race that, you know, they don't really know too much about our culture.
Yeah.
But he was one that definitely made me pick that pen up.
No doubt.
All right.
My favorite.
Siegel or Kiss, one gotta go.
Man.
I already know. We've been in rooms and had hundreds of conversations. So I'm getting the tough ones for you.
I mean, we ain't getting caught up in how much money somebody got, but we already seen.
I ain't talking about money. I'm talking about.
Yeah, we already seen what happened with the Siegel and Kiss, though. So you know, like, we was there.
We were. I think that's still being debated, though.
Nah, SP said I'm getting in it. He ain't say I'm getting in it for no reason.
Yeah.
All right, so you getting rid of Kiss?
Sieg, man, yes, all day. I love Kiss. He definitely one of the, like you say, top 5 did a lot, but I know I was there. Like, I saw, like, you know what I mean?
We were out there when that was happening, so we know.
Yeah, when he was doing the live freestyle, talk about taking your time, taking your watch.
Like, you could be right there, right next to the millions and billions, and mess it up by
battling the wrong dude. Yeah.
You know, I'm saying, speaking about Siegel for like getting locked up, like, because nobody he's gonna be somebody that's probably on Unsung or something like that. You feel me? Like, eventually nobody's gonna really know who that is. Like, younger people probably like, who's that? Siegel.
Yeah, that's the crazy thing about Siegel, because Siegel was one of those dudes that, like, when you put in a certain environment and you don't have no training on that, you don't know how to act with that. Like, you don't know what to do when no one's not really showing you. You know what I'm saying? Like, I think he's one of the few people that I can remember first that got caught up like that, right? You think about, like, what's happening with the baby right now, losing money because no one's able to grab him back when he's wilding out. So I think it shows you not having, even though Hope is there, but not really having true guidance, being young, and being put out there, and being real street like he was. He was really doing what he was rapping about. So you can't really do that, you know what I'm saying? Or you're gonna end up losing some money. All right, my second one album you can't live without. One hip hop album you can't live without.
Oh man. Right now, were you saying in
general? Could be any album.
Gotta be. If I only could have one album in my life, it would be Illmatic, man. Besides this new Her album, man, this new Herb album, album.
I said,
Her album.
It's not even new no more, but I can't stop playing that word. Like,
he's dope, man.
I said that Her album, like, I don't know if people thought I was ODing. That's the best R&B album I heard in at least 10 years.
Yo, but you know what it is too? It's that Bay flavor. Like, the Bay is so different. The Bay is kind of like New York. It's pretty much what it is, but it's just in Cali. The way they dress, the way they act, they don't act like Southern California. They act like us. You know what I'm saying? So her style and her flow, what she wears and how she looks, and them a lot. That's the Bay. So they got a lot of great music like that. So I'm not surprised that her album was bumping like that.
And then she even flipped the Siegel Feeling in the Air joint. I was like, yo,
the stuff that, like, I'll hear that beat come on and skip that song, but she'll turn that into a hit. So I'm like, she great.
And she's only like 23.
Young, right? Yeah, she's
right.
Like 23.
All right,
so talented.
What's your favorite Hove album?
My favorite Hove album always gonna be that first album, Reasonable Doubt, man. Like, I mean, I knew about Hove, but I remember like you remember exactly what you was doing. I was at a house party in Harrisburg, Pennsylvania, like in the projects, and ain't nobody dancing. They playing this album for the first song, and I mean for the first time, and every song that come on is just like everybody nodding their head.
Yeah.
In a trance, like, yo, this crazy. I'm just waiting for something whack to come on. Like, you know how
yeah, eventually, right?
As rappers listening, like he just keep. I'm like, whoa, like that blew my mind, like because you know, like I said, he had that vision. He knew he was that good. We ain't know he was that good,
right?
Yeah.
And some people didn't know until he dropped Volume 1.
Yeah,
Yeah.
And they double back to.
It's a Reasonable Doubt.
Yeah.
That's one of the things with me, because Volume 1 is my favorite Hove album, because when Reasonable Doubt came out, it was Biggie's world.
Right.
So when that came out, I was like, all right, this dude is good, but I don't know how he's gonna extend. I don't really know, because all I see is Big right now. I'm not even seeing Jay. Volume 1 comes out after Biggie dies, and then I double back, like, whoa, wait. Let me
Yeah, because Big was New York, Big was Brooklyn. So like,
yeah,
if you ain't dropped something to that level, everything else was like, all right, this is cool.
yeah.
Back to life after death.
That's what people don't understand as artists. Like it be that staying power. Like you could buzz for a minute. Like a lot of people gonna have that little 15 minutes of fame, but like then what? Like that's why you can't be riding waves. You got to be official in your own right, authentic, and you know, cover your bases. You got to be talking that stuff. It got to be factual. Like you got to be flowing. Bars on point. It's a lot to go into it. Like, or you know, like they say, fake always get exposed. Like you're gonna have dudes who pop, they get their little money for 1 year. How many people? You never hear from them again.
All right.
Word up. All right, my last one. I like to ask people this question, leave this for my last one. 5 dinner guests, dead or alive, who would you bring to your dinner party?
Oh, that question, man. 5. I gotta have Malcolm, man. I gotta have Malcolm first. Like, I just want that advice as a senior Muslim, like, especially like somebody that was a former criminal turned their life around. So he definitely won.
Word.
Right. Now, I would love to sit down and have dinner with Jay, but who wouldn't? So bring Beyonce. Bring Beyonce too. That's 3.
That's 3, yeah.
You hear me? Barack Obama, for sure. Number 4. And I'm a groupie, man, right now. So we're going to go back to her again.
Why not for the soundtrack, too? Some R&B. No doubt.
All right, well,
party, man.
Ross, thanks for pulling up, man. If you want to shout out to social media or anything you pushing, let us know.
Oh, yeah, man. Thanks for having me, first and foremost.
Yeah, of course.
Y'all could do this right now. You got a platform. Y'all could reach out. I'm sure people would love to be on here. For y'all to have me, man, and I'm just really just beginning. I appreciate it, bro. Like, thank y'all a lot, man.
Well, you know it's love, man. You fan.
It's always love around here, man.
Yeah, love y'all too, man. Instagram, Ross G's 2020. I need the followers, man. I don't like this social media stuff, so I don't know what y'all do to figure these algorithms out, but I'm feeling like me, man. Like, I ain't even on Twitter, Snapchat, the dancing joint, what they call it.
TikTok,
yeah. None of that. I'm just trying to get rid of these books. I got chestnut checkers coming. That's for the fellas, man. That's for the men. I need the men to step up and go grab that one right here. Like, I'm putting that out for us.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to that for sure.
My bad.
All right. Now you good. All right, you could check the Great Minds Podcast on Instagram at the Great Minds Podcast, on Twitter at the Great Minds P1. Shout out to the bro, Raj G's, for pulling up.
Salute, Raj.
Appreciate you, homie.
Shout out to y'all for having me.
Yes, sir.
Great minds think alike. Great Minds Podcast. Great minds think alike. Great Minds Podcast. Great minds think alike. Great Minds Podcast. Great minds think alike. Let's rock. You're now tuned into the Great Minds Podcast. 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 Derrick and Vaughn, oh boy, like Cam on a song. Culture safe now, thank God. The panic is gone. Time to heal from the pain. Take the bandages off. You gotta win. The stakes are high like a cannabis bomb. Okay, it's game time. Picture with the balls. That's a FaceTime. Great minds spreading faster than a rumor through the grapevine. Vaughn and Derrick deserve the merit. All salute 'em. It's more than just a podcast. Show is like a movie. Vaughn and Derrick, what up? Great minds think alike. It's the Great Minds Podcast. Great minds think alike. It's the Great Minds Podcast. Great minds think alike. It's the Great Minds Podcast. Great minds think alike. You're now tuned into the Great Minds Podcast. You're now tuned into the Great Minds Podcast. You're now tuned into the Great Minds Podcast. You're now tuned into the Great Minds Podcast.